Hello, I'm David Goldsmith. You obviously just received an email from me asking if you would be interested in being a guest on our Telecast series. Well, in order for you to understand where we're going with this, I thought I'd take a few minutes to share with you some history and then explain what I'm looking to achieve by having you as a guest. First of all, for you to be asked to be as a guest is a very unique opportunity. I have selected very few people to be on this guest platform, and anybody I've asked has somehow delivered something of high caliber to the industry that I think will be valuable for our membership to hear. So let's travel back to 2005. There were 5 people on a phone line, all talking about the future of the possibility of creating a New York State NSA chapter. There used to be a tri-state, which was New York City, Connecticut, and New Jersey. Because we're so far away from New York City, these 5 people decided that there would be a chapter and we would create it starting at that moment. I decided to listen in on the line, but I wasn't going to take on any roles because I didn't have the time. Before I knew it, I was selected as president and became the first president for the New York State chapter. Now, I've done a lot of work in the transportation industry. I've done a lot of work in the distribution industry. And the combination of both helped me to develop a new strategy for NSA, or NYNSA, because we had one overwhelming challenge to surpass. That is, in New York State, from side to side and top to bottom, the land is so large that we'd never have anybody come to meetings if we had monthly meetings, or those 12 meetings a month. We decided to deliver digital products and have meetings in a different type of framework. We have instead of 12 meetings a year, we now only have 2 meetings a year, which we get a good attendance at. And then we have roving powwows, which go around the state to deliver products and services to our membership to help them grow their business. On the digital side, we've developed a few products, but our primary one, or the one we started off with, was a Telecast series. All the interviews I've heard in the industry are less than 1 hour long, and all the interviews tend to be 5 to 10 minutes where someone's telling the great things that they've done. Well, I thought it would be great if our membership from side to side would learn something from somebody that was really meaty, that we'd take a full hour exploring some history of the individual, something that they can teach, something that they've done that would be valuable. So what we did is we started this Telecast series by bringing on some of the greats. We had, starting with Nito Quabain and Mark Sanborn and Joe Calloway, we had a roster that was so powerful that immediately the word started to get out, and our members were happy. Our first member out of Atlanta signed up, or we were at an NSA conference, and he said, "Can I sign up? Can I be a part of this?" And I said, "You're from Atlanta." And he said, "Well, being in Atlanta doesn't make a difference. I've heard that your telecasts are great and I'd like to pay." He signed up, and since then, we've had people on 5 continents sign up for New York State. Actually, with New York Without Borders, by delivering a virtual chapter and a brick and mortar chapter, we've morphed into something new. Well, let's fast forward a few years later. When we were chartered, we had over 450 subscribers, which made us the largest chapter in the United States, and we had just become a member. Fast forward a little bit more, and we are now on all 5 continents. We have 34 people in Australia, 3 people in Dubai, people in China, 84 people in South Africa. I think we have 16 presidents of other chapters who have joined our chapter to help participate. So we've grown from 5 people to over 1,000 people in about 3.5 to 4 years. Some people say that's pretty impressive, but I believe it's because we're delivering the products and services people want to hear. That brings me back to you. You were asked because after some thought, or something I read, or something I've heard, I thought you'd be a great interview. I think you can deliver something that would be of value. But that doesn't mean because I've contacted you, you're going to be on the interview series. What it means is you and I need to talk to find out if what you offer is of value. Let me explain how it works. First, if we can find a topic, or you agree to at least explore a topic, we'll look at 2 things. We'll look at a date, and let me explain how that works. The date that we select is not a completely firm date. What I mean by that is this. Let's say we pick March 8th. Let's say we pick March 8th. Now, March 8th falls on a Tuesday, and it is in the first week of the month. Again, I'm making this up. Let's say you get an engagement. You're busy, you're on the road, you're flying between here in Europe or here in South America, and you can't make that date, or I'm busy. We agree that the actual date holds you to the 2 weeks in March. So in the first 2 weeks in March, we will then immediately find another day and fill that day so we can deliver a product to our membership. The second thing is you and I get on the phone and we decide on a topic. Now, all we have to do is create a title, but the topic is the tough one. It's something that you can deliver on that when people are done listening, they will say, hey, this was great. I got a lot of value out of this. So you and I will spend the time going back and forth to figure out what that topic would be and what the content would be. Once we're done, we create a title, and that's all we market. No bullet points, no paragraphs, no nothing. Now, there have been some interviewees that I have said we just couldn't find anything, and I think they agreed also. Now, let me explain how the interview will work, because I think you'd like to know that also, because that'll help to define where you're going to go, or if we can do one together. The interview is completely different than probably you're going to experience. I've heard people say that their interviews or their telecasts are they're put on the phone, and for the hour they have to talk. I've heard other people say that they're asked questions, a series of questions, 5 or 6 questions, and then you have to answer them, and then you're done. Ours is different. I start off by saying this. I say, hey, interviewee, you and I spent some time on the phone deciding on a topic, and we created this title. Can you please tell everybody what that's about? At that moment, you define the rest of the program. See, I sit and I take notes as a student. You'll say a few comments, I'll add some points to it, and we'll make that 5 to 8 minutes the real emphasis of what the program will be about. I'll then say to you, can you give me the 4 or 5 or 6 bullet points we're going to be covering to make sure we cover this thoroughly? And at that point, you're to give me an outline, something to the effect of, well, I think there are 5 points we should cover. Number 1 is this, number 2 is this. Number 3 is something, and you can go on a little bit, number 4, and number 5. And then I'll say, or you can say, well, we're going to start with number 1. And from number 1, what we do is we work down the list. Don't worry about the time, don't worry about the schedule, let's worry about content. That's my job. I'm watching the clock, I'm making sure we're answering the questions, but I'll also be challenging you. I'll also be adding value to what you say. I'm helping the people on the other end of the line listen. Now, the audio is done 1 hour later. After that, it is archived and put on our website, and the people who pay have the ability to download this as an MP3 and use it in any format they'd like. But there will be people live, and the combination makes the New York State National Speakers Association teleconference series the most listened to teleconference series in the speaker industry in the world. So I'm hoping you're interested in participating. What I'd like you to do is give me a call at 315-682-3157. For our friends around the world, I'm assuming you know it's 1. Number 2 is you can contact me via email, which is david@davidgoldsmith.com. That's david@davidgoldsmith.com. And number 3 is you can Skype me at enterprise.thinking. One way or another, let's connect. Let's decide on a date and try to bring some value to this organization. If you're looking to find out more, you can also go to our website, which is NYNSA.org. That's NYNSA.org. And if you scroll down about midway, you'll see the list of all the other greats we've already interviewed, from Zig Ziglar to Charlie Jones. The list is endless. I think you'll be very impressed. So I look forward to hearing from you.